समझे हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ। हम भी तो समझे हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पर विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे। तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पर विराजे, हाथों में वीणा मुकुट सर पे साजे। मन से हमारे मिटा के अंधेरे, हमको उजालों का संसार दे माँ। मन से हमारे मिटा के अंधेरे, हमको उजालों का संसार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं, व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम्। अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि, भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे, पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र। येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः। प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये, ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः। पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता, दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं, देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला, गान्धारवीरोत्पला, शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी, कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा, दुर्योधनावर्तिनी, सोत्तीर्णा ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैः स्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्
It's on.
Before I start, how many of you are listening to this Bhagavad Geeta for the first time? Okay. Can you please close the door? सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कस्तूरितिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम् नासाग्रे नवमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुर्करे कङ्कणम् सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं सुललितं कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपालचूडामणि. Hari Om. Yesterday we were seeing a very beautiful shloka on Yahatu Atmatireva Syat Atmatruptascha Manavah Atmanyeva cha Santushtaha Tasya Karyam na Vidyate. For shloka number 17, Yastu Atmatireva Syat Atmatruptascha Manavah, shloka 17, 317. Atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. For a person who has perfected the art in living, and for us human beings, without action we cannot live. Action is the salient feature of an embodied soul on this planet, whether it be a little ant or it may be the roof and crown of creation, us. All denizens on this planet, they all engage in activity. Each one of us are doing action. The human birth, in fact, is a perfect yoni, this equipment, the body, the mind, the intellect. The body has been created for action. And if the body is created for action, then the equipment has to be utilized for action. And we saw that action which is to be done is action dedicated to the higher. And what is action dedicated to the higher? We saw in the spirit of yoga, in the spirit of offering yagna. The yagna spirit is that each one of us are not individual beings in this creation, but we are all part of this vast fabric of creation. Each one of us are part of it. And us being part of this vast fabric of creation, the understanding that I belong to this world and not that I am separate from this world. The notion that my equipment is separate is created by this egocentric personality, perceiver, feeler, thinker. And what Bhagavan is saying is, allow this ego to completely settle down, and, O human being, awake to the potential that you have, and the potential is that we are all divine, and that each one of us contributes to the totality, and in fulfilling our role of totality, we are fulfilling our dharma. And in fulfilling our dharma, we fulfill the purpose of why this instrument has been given to us. Very simple in very simple terms, the Yagna spirit is offer all actions to a higher altar of life. You may call it God, you may call it an altar of worship, you may call it some inspiration if you don't believe in God. Learn to offer everything to the higher. Even if you don't believe in the higher, at least appreciate the station in life where you are. I travel so much and I have to pass time in the airplane. Sometimes there's only so much I can read. I get at that elevation, I can only do so much. So I watch movies, and one of the best movies I watched in last few traveling was actually, it's a Netflix documentary on Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She is a Supreme Court Justice of United States. She is the eldest in the Supreme Court, well into her 80s. She went to law school, graduated from Harvard Law in 1957. And what women go through, even in this country, they are not exception. She went through terrible times, persecuted just for being a woman in the field of law. And she just wanted to practice law and bring about a good governance in living. She went through difficult times. In law school, her husband was 1 year senior and he came down with cancer and they had a little kid. She had to go to his class, she had to go to her class. Anyway, they finished law school. He gets a job in New York City, she doesn't get a job. Even though Harvard graduate, she's a woman. The only job she's getting is a professor. She finally takes a job, being fed up, got a job at Rutgers. Eventually she ended up moving to Columbia, her entire life as a professor. Now she wanted to serve the field of law. But she gets the job, instead of practicing law, she has to teach law. This is not why she went to law school, she didn't want to teach. She converted their entire job as, okay, opportunity to create good people in the field of law. Continued that. And she kept on taking, in American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, just pro bono cases, and she made her name in the 70s by taking cases nobody will take, which was a blessing in disguise. And she ends up one day becoming a Supreme Court Justice in 93. At this age, she can easily walk out. She herself has gone through cancer treatment. But at this age, her voice is a minority opinion, it is not even majority. She meticulously crafts every single opinion, stays up until 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Her altar of worship is law. When we find something inspirational in our life and we dedicate ourselves to it, that is what Bhagavan Krishna calls it, the spirit of Yagna. Gurudev used to say, if you don't like what you are doing, learn to like what you are doing. As simple as that. If you don't like what you're doing, learn to like what you're doing. We have no other choice. And in learning to like what we are doing, we cultivate in our life a privilege to offer ourselves in that thinking. And that offering itself becomes Karma Yoga, where I have offered myself. And wherever this type of attitude flourishes, the ego does not intervene. Because the mind is already made up, I'm going to like what I'm doing. So the ego has no opinion. This perceiver, feeler, thinker is suspended. Because mind has decided, I'm going to enjoy. Intellect provides great insight into enjoying. It may be a menial task. A person takes pride in it. The ego is suspended, mind abides into where the hands are. And for such a person where the ego is suspended, desires do not interfere. So, the desires do not interfere. And in this way, worshipping an altar of dedication, offering it to God, whatever arrives now, because mind has decided to like what it is doing, so mind is going to accept whatever that comes. So whatever we run into, mind is happy. And that is called prasad buddhi. There is a prasanna chitta. Obstacles arrive, the mind has decided to be happy. It will find a way to navigate through obstacles, so the mind stops complaining. There is no complaint. And where there is no complaint, the intellect and mind, they both work as a unit. And the swadharma of the buddhi, the swadharma of the jiva, that can be delivered. What is delivered is swadharma. So, offering in karma yoga, the offering is, I find an altar of worship, prasad buddhi, whatever I receive, Ishwar's prasad, and then altar of worship is Ishwar arpad buddhi. Whatever I am giving, it is Bhagavan's offering. It is a privilege to serve. And a human being rises to the great potential of inviting divinity in living. Oftentimes, I travel and, what do you do? Some, I'm a software engineer, I'm a doctor, lawyer, whatever people do. And some people, Swamiji, I'm just a housewife. I'm like, what do you mean just a housewife? So much work is there. If it weren't for the mothers, who's going to raise the next generation? You think the home is kept tidy just by itself? The dishes are done by some magic power? Vacuuming and laundry and so much work. In fact, stay at home, more and more work is created. See, whatever work we do, we have to find meaning in it. I did satsang with some high school students who are graduating and going off to college. And one very beautiful question one boy had asked. These kids I've known ever since they were little in kindergarten. They're all graduating, going off to college. I've been in Austin for 10 years. This one boy asked me, Swamiji, how do you put a value to the most menial task or work in one's life? Or do the most menial tasks in life, do they matter? Now I gave an answer. Imagine you are the parent and your teenager walks in home and the face of your child is, and you as a mother are there to greet him and say, what happened, Ram? Mom, I had studied so hard for my chemistry test. I got a D. I was expecting an A, and now it's going to throw off my entire grade point average. I don't know if I can catch up and get a decent grade in the class. I got a D on the midterm. Now, what can you as a mother do? You can say, oh, it's okay, you can catch up, don't worry about it. You think that's going to alleviate this child's anxiety. Or you as a mother can go and hug. Say, it's okay, don't worry about it. Here, I'm going to make you some, he loves payasam, I'm going to make you some payasam. And you make payasam and you give. You think that payasam is going to make that child feel good. He's eating payasam and the mind is only thinking D. Oh my God, what's going to be the final grade? Oh my God, it's going to ruin my grade point average. Oh my God, I won't be able to get into the school that I want. You look at the anxiety, what it is capable of doing. But if you are an intelligent parent and if you have taught menial tasks to your child and you give him a basket of laundry and said, Ram, can you please do this laundry? And make sure you put fabric softener, make sure you dry them nicely, fold them and put them. Yeah, okay, Mom. And this kid throws the clothes in the washing machine, puts them in the dryer, removes them from dryer. Mind is stuck in D, and he now folds clothes properly, and he piles up the t-shirts, piles up the jeans, piles up dad's clothes, undergarments, mom's clothes. He separates everything. And all of a sudden, he realizes, I've done laundry. And t-shirts nicely stacked up, jeans stacked up, shirts are all hanging. And there is a sense of achievement that I've done something. The menial tasks unites us in the present moment as a sense of achievement. Your hug and payasam, what that cannot do, the basket of laundry will pull that boy's mind out of D. Menial task, laundry. This is what karma is capable of doing. And it is a karma which is an antidote for karma. One action, I got a D. Another action, well, I've achieved something. Okay, it's just doing laundry, but there is a sense of self-worth that मैंने कुछ किया. You know? This is how menial tasks in life go a long way. When we are jolted by the unrealities of life. We all will go through painful situations. If we are not prepared to lose our kith and kin and we end up losing, which by the way all of us are going to lose. We've lost our grandparents or we will lose them. One day we will lose our parents. How are we going to deal with such situations? People break down. But these are facts of life. We lose our job, lose kith and kin. What do? We have to have coping mechanism. People break down when their pet dies. It was a little goldfish. Come on, get over it. But for such a person, they got that little goldfish and turned out to be a guppy, but that guppy grew into a goldfish. They took care of it for 2 years in the tank. An attachment. Attachment to a dog, a cat. How long is the dog going to live? 17, 18, 19 years? Okay, and then after that? We get attached to so many things, but then we are going to have to... Karma unites, and then karma separates us. This whole universe is woven by the thread of karma. How am I going to deal with it? So, Bhagavan utilizes karma to come out of karma. That is called karma yoga. Karma yoga is when we employ action to weaken the bondage that action creates. That is what this chapter is about. A menial task of laundry can snap a child out of the blue mind because of a terrible grade. We all are going to have some happy days, some sad days. And it is karma that pulls us out. It is karma that pulls us out. So, first rule of karma yoga. Find an altar of worship. It may be Krishna, Rama, Shiva, whoever be your Ishta Devata, offer everything to Bhagavan. Okay, if you do not have an Ishta Devata, just like I gave an example of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, for her Ishta Devata is law. She serves the field of law. I know ample of people, Swamiji, I don't do any pujas. But they take their profession seriously. I'm a doctor and I'm the best doctor. I do my best to serve people. That's a great altar of worship. Medicine can be altar of worship. Law can be altar of worship. Teaching can be altar of worship. If you're a car mechanic, serving cars can be an altar of worship, as long as your mind abides in the action and the mind is capable of being uplifted there. a sense of dedication. So, have an altar of worship. In that altar of worship, then anything that comes, nothing is seen as an obstacle. It is seen as an opportunity to serve my Lord better. How am I going to serve my Lord better? I am going to accept that challenge and not break down and not complain. So, prasad buddhi is, I'm not going to complain in this world, no matter what. Such people are optimistic people. Even in failure, they will see a white line in the dark cloud. So, optimism. Third point. In Karma Yoga, since we are offering and the ego is suspended because mind has decided to be happy, now these desires are not pressuring us. So what happens is the binding desires are converted into non-binding desires. So what is a binding desire? Binding desire is, I must have this. I have to have this. And when we have a binding desire, I must have it. And if we don't get it, guess what happens? We become dejected, rejected, sad, mad, angry. And then we have to resort to Tylenol. And if Tylenol doesn't work, Prozac. That is not right way of living. How many Prozacs are we going to pop? So, in Karma Yoga, binding desires turn into non-binding desires. In non-binding desire is, if I get it, God's grace. If I don't get it, my Bhagavan did not want me to have it. It's okay. Do you see how free we are? This is called Yogastha Kuru Karmani. This is called engaging ourselves in Karma Yoga. Karma is, I'm going to get it, I'm going to achieve it, come whatever may. Karma Yoga is, it's an opportunity that I have been bestowed upon to serve. Serve the altar of life. And through this altar of life, I'm going to serve my Bhagavan. If not Bhagavan, whatever be your altar of worship, then the second point is, no complaints. Ishwar, prasad buddhi, Bhagavan has given us. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to work with it. And since the ego is suspended, the desires, they are not creating a havoc, and thus we grow. This is the vision of Karma Yoga, and when this happens, the 17th shloka, when it is said, Yastu Atmatirevasya. Yesterday I explained Rati, Trupti and Santushti. When a person is engaged in Karma Yoga, the privilege to serve Lord is Rati. The person is completely engrossed in joy. And then Atma Truptascha Manavaha. And when Bhagavan gives things in return which we are going to achieve karma phalas, and the person is going to be in whatever Ishwar gives. The prasad buddhi is trupti. Oh, देखो भगवान ने क्या दिया. There's a very beautiful story about a saint of Maharashtra, Namdev. And Namdev was going by, and it was, rainy season, and there was a big puddle. And he was walking in water, and he thought it would be the earth. But he didn't realize there was a big pothole, and he fell inside. And people came running over there to help him. He said, no, don't help me. Let me be in this puddle. And everybody's like, what is wrong with you? He said, my Pandarinatha wanted to enjoy what it feels like to fall down in a puddle of water in monsoon. And then he got up and he went. Same thing happened in Samartha Ramdas's life. See, these are Mahatmas. When we fall down, it's like, Hey Bhagavan, what did it have to happen? It had to happen to me. I'm going to work and I'm delayed. My clothes are dirty. Blah, blah, blah. Our personal Ramayana starts. But if it is a bhakta, trupti. गिर गए तो गिर गए, भगवान ने ये मौका दे दिया बारिश के मौसम का आनंद उठाने के लिए, और क्या? See, such type of people will never get blood pressure. Really. If we cry about little things, why is this not proper? What is the whining people? If there are physicians over here, even they will agree. Those people who are mentally bankrupt, they become physically bankrupt, health-wise. इतनी अच्छी भगवान ने बुद्धि दी है, they don't want, भगवान has given बुद्धि, they don't want to use it. Miserly. At the level of emotion, be happy. No, I'm going to be sad. Oh, then be sad. What else? In Bhavihar, everybody knows the last thing I want to see is a frowny face on Sunday. Even if you are dragged over there by your parents, I tell Bhavihar children, if I see a frowny face, I'm going to give it to you. I will pick on you in middle of 400 children. And every child is because nobody wants to be picked on Sunday morning. So I tell them, I said, you know what? Yes, your parents dragged you over here. You don't want to come to Bal Vihar. Guess what? Enjoy it. This is how, from childhood we have to learn to enjoy everything. Food is the main thing. I think everybody should have my mother. They will enjoy eating anything and everything. One summer vacation, my brother and I threw a fit. What is this? Karela, in this bitter gourd. And my mom quietly stood over there. This is what I have made. You want to eat? My brother got so angry. I got so angry. I said, what is this? I'm not going to eat, and pushed the plate, and the plate fell. She quietly picked it up, put it over there, another plate. That summer vacation, in the month of May and June in India, and in May is a season for mangoes. She did not buy one mango. And the whole month of May and June, every day Karela. She said, here's the kitchen. If you want to cook, you can buy and cook. We were just little kids, 9 years, 10 years old, my brother and I. And I tell you, that taught us. 1 month Karela. Now I look at the plate, you can put anything in that plate, vegetarian. I will consume it, no problem. Even Karela, I happily eat now. No problem. You can give me Karela, I'll eat. She was adamant about the fact that if we are doing Brahmarpanam, what right do we have to make a frowny face in front of that plate, which is going to go inside Anna Brahma? Since then, not one grain we waste. At least at the dinner table, we should be happy. If we, all you parents, you better teach this. Because in the plate of life, over here we can reject a Karela, but then Bhagavan will give something really good, a Karela for life, and that too concentrated juice. Nice wife you will get, nice husband you will get. More better than Karela. You'll have to wake up to that every day. No, these are facts of life. If we don't learn, Bhagavan will make us learn. He's sitting on Tirumala, standing like... Yeah. So, we must be happy. Atmarati, Atmatrupti, Atmasantushti. If we look at the next door house, and in the driveway, we have a Honda Civic, and there is a BMW. And we think, oh, I wish I could afford a BMW. Finished. ये Honda Civic भी चली जाएगी. This Honda Civic will also go away. Bhagavan teaches us very well. So the next one is Santushti. Cultivate contentment. Cultivate contentment. Janani Prithvi Kamadukaste Janako Deva Sakala Dayal. Mahaperiyava had composed this Maitrim Bhajata. Cultivate friendship in this world. Cultivate love. This is Yastu Atmatirevasya Atmatruptascha Manavaha Atmanyevacha Santushtaha Tasya Karyam na Vidyate. When we find the inner joy, what action will we do? Except only to share joy. So our actions will even produce more joy. Most people work for happiness. Here is a person who works out of happiness. You see the big difference? A karmi works for happiness. A karma yogi works out of happiness. He's privileged. That is Atma. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Because other people, the karya is for happiness, but he's already attained happiness. So what karyam? No karyam. He is happy. Singing some bhajans, he will do whatever needs to be done. And whatever comes out of that person, there will be a signature of divinity. Continuing, shloka number 18. Naiva tasya krute narthaha na krute neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu Kashchidartha Naiva tasya krute narthaha na krute neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu Kashchidarthavya pashrayah. This person over here, Bhagavan is saying, Tasyaha na eva krute arthaha. For such a person, there is no object left to be acquired. Na akrutena kasya. Neither is this person living for anything to be accomplished. There's nothing for him to be accomplished. Everything is accomplished. In the very attitude of happiness, everything is accomplished. And nachasya sarva bhuteshu kashchit arthavyapashrayah. Self-realized person, who will he depend upon and for what will he depend upon? He has no dependence on anything in this world. There's a glory of a self-realized soul. There's not an object to be acquired and there is not an object to be dependent upon, because the person has found contentment in one's being. They look at the mirror and they are privileged to look at the reflection. बहुत कुछ उसने दे दिया है. He's given so much. The fact that I'm able to acknowledge him, worship him and serve him, more than enough. I tell you, this attitude itself is liberation. If we reach this attitude in living, in working, Vedas have no purpose, because we've actually gotten it. A person has attained everything. Such a person has no interest whatsoever in what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither does this person finds any dependence on anything. Naiva tasya krutena arthaha na akrutena arthaha. Nothing left for him to be done or not done. Actually, everything is achieved in this one birth alone. The person is so content. This is called the self-fulfilling prophecy of Karma Yoga. All desires come to an end. What are our desires for? Our desires are only, I want this and I don't want that. Bas. Isn't it? This thing is categorized in only 2 boxes. All our desires. We look at something amazing and say, very nice. It would be nice to have it. We look at something, no, I don't want it. So for such a person, nothing heyam upadeyam, nothing to be acquired, nothing to be rejected, fulfilled. This is the vision of Karma Yoga. Karma itself fulfills them. Continuing, Tasmat asakta satatam Karyam karma samachara Asakto hyacharan karma Paramapnoti purushaha Tasmadasakta satatam Karyam karma samachara Asakto hyacharan karma Paramapnoti purushaha. So last two shlokas Bhagavan described a karma yogi who's completely fulfilled. But he had to start karma yoga and end in this highest state of abidance in karma yoga as completely fulfilled. So taking that person as a model, now Bhagavan is going to teach 4 or 5 shlokas to all of us. That therefore, Arjuna, what we should do is looking at this man who is so fulfilled just by action itself, we have to replicate that in living. Let us replicate. So Bhagavan starts this section, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, all the way up to 25, 24. Bhagavan starts with Tasmat. Therefore, why therefore? Because juxtaposed to the last 2 shlokas, that a man who is living the life of Karma Yoga has achieved so great, is so fulfilled. Therefore, let us replicate this. When we look at the life of Adi Shankaracharya ji, why do you think he went around Bharatvarsh 2 times on foot, in 8th century, some say 6th century, whichever one, 6th, 8th century, length and breadth of Bharatvarsh, he went on foot. He wrote commentaries, he wrote bhashyas, he wrote shlokas, he wrote puja vidhi books, he established mathas, he established a proper order of worship. Why? He took a Nambodari priest and put that priest way up there in Kedarnath. And he took a North Indian priest and placed it way down there in Rameshwaram. Why did he do all these things? Was there anything for him to be achieved? Was he working for some Nobel Peace Prize? Or was he working for, oh, one day I will be revered? He was fulfilled. And because he was fulfilled, he wanted others to be fulfilled. And the only way to fulfill them is to leave a trail of fulfillment. What worked for me, hopefully it works for you. I achieved this state of mind, Bhajagovindam, very simple composition. Then at the end of the story of our life, nahi nahi rakshati dukhrun karne. Nalini dalagata jalamati taralam tatvat jivitam atishaya chapalam. A little drop which falls on the lotus leaf dances and falls off. Tatvat jivitam atishaya chapalam. We don't know when Yamaraj is going to walk in and claim us. If Lord of Death walks over here and comes and, come on, are we ready to go? The only person who's ready to go is this karma yogi, because he's achieved everything. He will look at Lord Yama Parshadas, Namaskaram, I've been waiting for you. Let's go. You want to take me? We'll go. That's why Bhagavan says, draw inspiration from men of wisdom. Our Gurudev, Taponji Maharaj sat in Uttar Kashi. He said, why do you want to go? He said, what I have learned, I want to share with the Janta of Bharatvarsh. Was there any binding reason for him to? No. He created Chinmaya mission, you think he created for himself? What mission? His life was beyond mission. Yet he brought Gita to us. So today, in 2019, so many years after he has left, we are still discussing Gita. Do you think we would be here today if it weren't for him? I don't know what I would be doing. I would still be a hardware design engineer sitting in Bay Area. Making more money, a bigger house. But contentment? So many times I just wake up and I bow down to Gurudev and I said, I don't know, Gurudev, what I would have done without you. It's a privilege to wear these clothes and talk on Gita. You gave me the buddhi to study the world of matter. Pre-med, pre-engineering, all this thing. Good. And I'm glad I've studied science, physics, device physics, and I can understand the material world better. But you gave me the opportunity to study the subtle world and the unmanifest self. It's a privilege. Everybody doesn't get a chance to study this. But we have to start somewhere. So Bhagavan inspires. Tasmat, therefore Arjuna, asakta. Asakta? No attachment. Detached from this world, which is very difficult to do, but this is the only way. You are raising children, raise them asakta. Think of yourselves not as parents, but Bhagavan has put you over there for 18 years to look after them as well-wishers and as guide, and then leave them. Because that little child also comes with a bundle of vasanas. Prepare them to unfold properly. That's all. Ramana Maharshiji's mother came to Arunachala to take him. And he says, Mother, if it is not in my bhagya, even devatas cannot create it. And if it is not in bhagya, even then, the devatas cannot take it away or bestow upon it. This life, I'm destined to live over here, accept it. If it is not in my fortune, devatas also cannot give. And if it is in my fortune, even devatas cannot take it away. And this is what we are all born with. So, having that understanding, being the trustees of their lives. That's all. You are a trustee of their life for 18 years. Actually, not even 18. Until this ego starts asserting you, middle school is enough. After that, you say and they will do the exact opposite. Actually, they are parenting you in the spiritual world. They are forcing you to come over here. It's like, hello. They will educate you more than you can educate them. Having that understanding, asakta, satatam, not kadachit, satatam, continuously in all places, in all times, understand we are temporary denizens in all places. In the home, at the work, in the volunteer place where we volunteer, as a sevika, as a sevak, we must have an understanding. It is a privilege to be there that day, that's all. Tomorrow we don't know. So satatam, having understood that I am temporarily here, karyam, karma, do your action, samachara, samyak achara, very well do your job, thinking this is the last time you're doing it. It's the last time you're doing it. Asakto hyacharan karma, doing it with absolute dispassion, paramapnoti purushaha, the person reaches the highest. If you intervene, I'm going to teach this person, it's not going to work. The Balihar teachers who come with the attitude that hum inko padhane wale hai. Oh, we are going to teach this boy. Let's see who's going to learn. We have to come with the attitude, I'm going to share what I know, that's all. I tell you, my entire 20s I was working. I did my satsang with Swamiji almost on a daily basis. But then I was a Balvihar teacher. And I was thrown into it. He said, yo, you are raised over here, you can teach these teenagers. I said, what do you mean I can teach? I myself have barely come out of teenage years. But I tell you, I would not be seated over here if it weren't for that opportunity which was thrown into my lap, and grudgingly I did it. Oh, I have to go teach Balvihar. Oh, and those kids. But you have no idea. Once I heard this, and I said, oh my God, I better not frown at teaching. That too spiritual teaching. I changed. And I changed so fast. By the time my 30th birthday rolled around, I was ready for Vedanta course. I'm telling you, if you want to grow spiritually, share your spiritual knowledge. Don't think that, I'm just saying this to pitch Balvihar. It is a fact. It is a fact. You serve Goddess Saraswati, and Mother Lakshmi will shower prosperity into your life. And don't think it is money. Mother Lakshmi comes in so many different ways. Things will be taken care of. I know Balvihar teachers who have dedicated that life in teaching, in seva. I know one Amma. She has called from ashram, quietly going behind and said, I won't be able to come home today. I have to finish this task over here. Can you please pick up something from Taco Bell and give it to our son? She calls her husband and says, go to Taco Bell, get a sandwich, whatever it is, I cannot make. I know some amazing sevikas whose children have gone to Taco Bell, Subway sandwich for dinner. And today, those kids are so well taken care of. So well taken care of. It is the dedication of altar of worship. We have one person in Chicago, our Swami Shivatmananda is, Bhiksha coordinator. Amma is dedicated. Not 1 week, 2 weeks, not 1 year, 2 years, 3 decades. Children all taken care of. These are blessings which we don't know how the universe works. We only have to sacrifice our ego and Bhagavan arrives. The greatest joy of a parent is when the child does well. And when all children are taken care of, education, spouses, and well settled, you cannot ask for anything greater than that. And like that, I know so many ammas across Gnyana Mission. Gurudev has created this altar for us to grow. And that is Asakto hyacharan karma paramapnoti purushaha. There are no worries in this world, there are no worries. Over here, Bhagavan takes care of us. Now example is given. Karmanyeva hi samsiddhim Astita janakadayah Loka sangrahamevapi Sampashyan kartumarhasi Karmanyeva hi samsiddhim Astita janakadayah Loka sangrahamevapi Sampashyan kartumarhasi Karmani eva hi samsiddhim. Abiding in karma and having acquired great dexterity in action, astita, abiding over there, Janaka Adayaha, great kings like Janaka, Janaka presided over Mithilapuram. And you imagine, he was not an ordinary soul, a great self-realized soul. And Vedvyas Maharshiji had sent his own son Shukadev to Janak Maharshiji to learn. And when the great saints and sages, they came to that king, what, this king is going to take exam of our knowledge? What does the king know? He is only a king. When does he have time to study Shastra? But Janak Maharshiji was not ordinary. Great Kshatriya, Rajarshi he is called. Rajascha Rishishcha. He is a great king who learned Atma Vidya, but then practiced, never gave up the Kshatriyatva and became one of the best kings of Bharatvarsh. And you think that somebody with this knowledge would just walk out, go to the Himalayas and become a monk? No, he never renounced the Kshatriya dharma of being a king. So, karmani eva Samsiddhim, Astita, Janakadayaha, Adayaha. There were hundreds of kings like that in Bharatvarsh. Harishchandra, oh ho 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 ho. A ghat in Varanasi is named after him. Raja Harishchandra, because of Satyavachan, he presided over a karma of Chandal in cremation grounds. Whatever karma, right? Oh, I am a king, I cannot be doing this karma. Nothing like that. Even as a Chandal in cremation grounds, Harishchandra, Raja Janak, Loka Sangraham Evapi, for the sole purpose of making sure that the society is well taken care of. See, remember even yesterday I said, this whole universe is a vast fabric woven by action. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say it is a sari of Mother Kali, and each one of us have a little design and pattern in it. We are all part of it. And if we abstain from our job, somebody else is deprived of something. If Gurudev had not decided to come down, we would all have been deprived of Atmavidya. 25,000 children grow up in United States and they go off to college every year. Raised in Bal Bihar. You imagine who would have educated them about Atmavidya? Or whatever, even if they don't get Atmavidya, who would have educated them about life? Loka sangraham evapi sampashyan karma kartum arhasti. We should engage in our karma, in our duty, seeing that our presence is needed. We are one little puzzle in the jigsaw puzzle of Maya. And if I don't do my job, the puzzle will be incomplete. Even at work, however painful your job is, take delight in it. Somebody benefits from it. Somebody benefits. You're writing a code, a whole software depends upon it. Or a doctor performing a surgery, the person's life depends upon it. The janitor keeping this place clean. Every one of us. The construction worker, where would be sitting if it weren't for somebody who has built this place? The architect is not a contractor. A contractor is not a builder. So, we are part of this universe. We should never abstain from karma. Never. It's a privilege to be alive and rendering work. Yad yad acharati shreshtaha tat tadeve taro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastadanu vartate yad yad acharati shreshtaha tat tadeve taro janaha sayat pramanam kurute that I impress upon children in Bal Vihar is learn to keep your language clean. Don't use dirty words. There's no point in using dirty words. Our Sanskrit Bhasha, she's called Samskrita, Samyak Krutam, very well created, that there is not one nasty word in this Bhasha. The only gali that exists in Sanskrit Bhasha is to call somebody Pashu. Pashyati acharati iti Pashu. What is Pashu? The one which is living, seeing and living, that is Pashu. Acharana is based upon, okay, I'm seeing like a dog, a cat. It sees and it acts. It sees and it acts. That's Pashu, an animal. That is animal buddhi. But ours, much more. We have this tongue, which is the asana of Goddess Saraswati. Then why should we speak bad words? If this little 2-inch organ in our mouth, which produces this bhasha, if it is a simhasana of Goddess of speech, then we should be ashamed of speaking ill words. And when I go for bhiksha, a child just says a word, oops, Swamiji, I'm not supposed to say. But it's too late, the word has come out. I'm like, the reason the child says that is because parents must be saying it. Otherwise the child would not be saying it. I know exactly what is going on in the household because the child will tell me anything. I don't have to ask. I'll go for bhiksha. Swamiji, my mom did that mom is just dying in kitchen. Ooh, be quiet, be quiet. But a child is going to spill everything. A child is innocent. A child doesn't know that, it's a little 8-year-old, 9-year-old. That buddhi has not yet developed that, oh, I should not tell this to Swamiji. And a child spills the secrets of the family. Swamiji, my dad did this to mom. I said, oh. No, now what to do? So, if a child utters a word, I say, you as parents must be using it. Thus the child is using it. This shloka says, yad yad acharati shreshtaha. Whoever is a shreshta person, a notable person in the society, or in a household, that little child looks up to these two people as parents. And for that little boy, there's no one better than my dad, or nobody better than my mom. My mom and my dad are the bomb. And a child should think that way. Why not? Ganapati Bhagavan goes around Mata and Pita and he thinks his parents are the world. Every child thinks that. But if the elders who are idolized by the little ones or others in the society, like politicians, notable people, over here Kshatriya Arjuna, then if a chief person in the society does it, then others are going to think, oh, if he can get away with it, why not me? And if the child sees mom and dad using colorful language, why not me? The son goes out on Friday night. He's a 17-year-old going with his friends. And the father is seated watching TV, and he's watching his football game, whatever it is, and he's drinking beer. And he's telling his son, don't drink. And he's drinking beer. Wow. Achhi salah dete hain, you know. What audacity does that father have to tell the son, don't drink, when he has opened a can and he's... You see, you know, I bring these examples. Gurudev would never have brought these, but I've seen it, unfortunately. See, we should know what our position is at home, at work, in society. And we have sometimes no choice. We are made role models. We are made role models and we don't even know. We live in a little cul-de-sac and the kid out there, you know, there's Ram uncle is a doctor and I want to be doctor just like Ram uncle. Now you imagine that Ram uncle will never know that this American kid growing up over here, he looks up to him that one day he also wants to be a doctor like Ram uncle. So, see, this shloka brings to our attention that we should be in awareness, vigilant as to who's around us and how they are looking at us. And what should be my behavior? As a sannyasi, if I do certain things, then all of you looking at me, you're like, oh, Swamiji does it, it's okay, it can be done. So, it is very, very important. And the higher we climb in the social status, political status, family status, workplace, wherever it is, the more responsibility rests on our shoulders. A CEO of a company, the whole company looks up to this person. He's the face of the company. And that person sitting in that position does some 420. I mean, he does something inappropriate. What will happen? You look at, 15, 20 years ago, Enron, what happened? These people were trusted to govern a company and they pocket it. Ill investments. And we are not talking about some 100,000, 200,000. We are talking about billions of dollars. It's an outrage that somebody could behave in such a way with public money. But it does. So when we realize that our place in a locus is important, whether in family, in work life, in society, in Bal Vihar. I always tell Bal Vihar teachers, dress appropriately. Because a little child is growing up and you listen to their graduation speeches. Oh, that Meena auntie, she taught me from kindergarten. She's the best teacher I've ever had. She was so nice, so gentle. I learned so much. And we won't even realize that this child has looked up to us and they will go off to college. We will move on in our life, but that child, one statement we as a teacher have made and it changes their life. One statement. And we are elevated to a guru in somebody's life. It's a big status. So Bhagavan says, don't take action for granted. Yad yad acharati shreshtaha tattadevetoro janaha. Others will. Sayat pramanam kurute. Such a person will set a standard for how a behavior should be. Lokastadanu vartate. Today, as a sannyasi, I look at Mahaperiyava Swamiji and the way in which he conducted his life. Our Gurudev used to do Shashtang Namaskar to Mahaperiyava Swamiji. And Swamiji would say, one sannyasi should not do Namaskar to another sannyasi. Mahaperiyava in Kanchipuram would say that. And Swami Chinmayananji would look down and say, in front of this sannyasi, this body is not even worthy of being called a sannyasi. He elevated the status of sannyas. Some people, they give glory to the matha. Some people, the matha gives glory to them. In his case, both happened. Because of him, the matha gained glory. And because of the matha, he lived that entire life of impeccable truth. Not for 10, 20, 30 years, 90 some years. Somebody would be fed up of the orthodoxy, but he held it up. He inspired people to do. Today, my role model for sannyasis, Gurudev, Tapovanji Maharaj, Mahaperiyava, Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi Ji, even though he didn't take sannyas, he was the best among the sannyasis. And Ochre robe doesn't define a sannyasi. It is the content of the character. A great spiritual giant. So, we will continue tomorrow. Now, tomorrow is the last day. And this Atma Vidya we are studying, this is a privilege. Even I mentioned today that I don't know what I would do if it weren't for Gurudev in my life. And without blessings, we cannot sit in this room. You imagine how many people are out there in St. Louis. How many of them have seen this flyer? Some people genuinely want to come, but responsibilities prevent them from coming. They cannot come. Why? Lord ordained it. So, cannot be here, cannot participate. Close the door. It is a privilege to study. And if Bhagavad Geeta comes in our hand, it is not ordinary. And when we study it by ourselves, we can read the meaning, word to word and all that. It will make sense. But the minute we close, it will go away. In my family, there are several people who have studied Adhyatma Vidya. My uncle, my aunt, I remember I had graduated from college and I asked my aunt, teach me Gita. She said, I left the comfort of my home to study and I went to Gurudev. I can teach you, but familiarity breeds contempt. I will never ever be able to teach you. learn from your teacher. I know it, but I cannot teach you. And to that teacher, you are going to have to give dakshina. Because we go to a grocery store, Safeway, we buy apples, bananas, bread, this, that, we walk out with milk. You think we can just walk out? And that person at the counter, she will look at it and you can tell her, Arey, I'm taking these bananas from my Swamiji, can you not charge me for it? What, do you think she will let you do that? She's a worker over there in the Safeway. Anything in that basket, she has to charge. You have to pay for it. Now, we think that this Bhagavad Geeta, अरे वो Google से भी मिल जाती है, and YouTube MP3 videos, MP4 videos are there, I can listen. But what happens in live teaching? There is no substitute for it. When the four Sanat Kumaras left Brahmaloka and went to Kailash Loka, sat in front of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva took the form of Dakshinamurti. And Mauna Vyakhyat Prakatika Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam. When he spoke Shastra in Maunam, Chitram Vatakaror Mule, Vruddha Shishya Guru Yuvan, Gurostu Mauna Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshaya. In silence, he removed their doubt. So, what I'm getting at is, in Chinmaya Mission, my life is perfectly taken care of. There are people waiting in line to buy me clothes. And I told first day, my God, I have orange slippers, orange backpack, you name it, I have orange pencils. And everybody wants to buy me, buy me, buy me. So really, I am blessed. Roti, kapda, or makan. And so much, I live in Austin, just 2 miles from our ashram is Apple. People are giving me new phones every month. I said, bas ho gaya. Just because you work at Apple, that doesn't mean I have to go through all these new gadgets all the time. Even gadgets people give me. So, what I'm saying is, I'm completely well taken care of. When you give dakshina, this dakshina is for the antakarana which has gained something. And when the antakarana gains something, there's no price for it because it gets modified permanently. Not just in this life, but lives to come. In case if we have to, we are hoping that there are no other lives ahead of us. But we are transformed. Our mother gives birth to us. But Shastra Vidya, Mother Shruti, she prevents other births from happening. She is the mother of all mothers. In Lalita Sahasranam, Shruti Simant Sindura Krutapadabjatulika. Shruti is the Simant Sindur of Devi. When she bows down, the kumkum falls. Simanta Sindur of Devi is her bhagya to be married to Sadashiva. And that is a knowledge which awakens us. So whatever you give goes to Chinmaya Mission for Chinmaya Mission activities. Not one person is paid in Chinmaya Mission. It's volunteer-run organization. All sannyasis, sevak, sevikas in all centers. In Central Chinmaya Mission Trust in Mumbai, we do have hired people over there. for various tasks. We have to as an institution, because it has become